Hi, this is Sarah Meixel with the Pig Site, and today we're here with Dr. Daniel Nelson. He is a swine nutritionist with Zoetis. Thanks for being with us today, Daniel.
You bet.
Very good. I understand that there have been some issues with the use of ractopamine and trading with other countries. Can you tell me a little bit more about that and what's going on?
Absolutely. So, Sarah, this really stems from the year-long epidemic, if you will, with African swine fever in China. And some reports say that as much as 50% of their herd has been wiped out due to African swine fever. And certainly the U.S. pork producers and packers would like an opportunity to backfill that supply of pork to China. However, they have a zero tolerance for ractopamine, and that means that U.S. pork producers need to stop using ractopamine in order to fill that demand.
Right, and I understand zero is zero. There has to be a specific, it's not a little bit is okay, right?
That's true, and we have analytical equipment these days that can measure down to parts per trillion, so that zero keeps getting smaller and smaller.
Crazy. That's crazy. Very good. And what's the best way for producers to kind of make this transition to a non-racto operation?
Well, my advice, Sarah, is if they're currently using ractopamine in a group of pigs, continue using that until that group of pigs is gone to slaughter. Now, in subsequent groups of pigs, that feed needs to be racto-free. So we need to start back at the mill and make sure that the mill is producing ractopamine-free feed. So that entails, number one, removing ractopamine completely from the premises, cleaning out microbins where the ractopamine had been, cleaning out legs, augers, scales, mixing equipment, load-out equipment, fat tanks that might have contained animal fat from pigs or cattle that have been fed ractopamine, and then going out to the barn as well, making sure that feed bins are completely empty and that feed lines have been flushed with ractopamine-free feed, and all the feeders have been completely cleaned out, and some extent even vacuuming feeders out to make sure the feed is completely gone.
So that's a big process.
It is.
It takes a team, I would assume, to do that, right?
It's a systems approach to get it done.
Very good. And what's Zoetis' role in the system approach that you guys take or that you recommend?
Well, Sarah, we have written components, toolboxes, white papers, if you will, that outline the same information that I'm covering today. In addition, we have an online demand WebEx that's available for customers and producers, and that online WebEx features Dr. Charles Stark of Kansas State University, Dr. Steve Pullman, independent pork industry consultant, and also Dr. Mike Apley of Kansas State University. And in that WebEx, they go into greater detail than what I've been able to cover with you here today on how to get rac out of your system.
Very good. And your role, I mean, you guys have really, you're offering up information. Do you guys actually go on farm and help people with the process as well?
We can. In fact, we can, and we can also collect feed samples and send into our Chicago Heights analytical laboratory and measure ractopamine in feed. And so we offer that service to our customers, and that's a way for them to make sure that the procedures that they have implemented, in fact, are working and that they are producing and feeding racto-free feed.
Right, because you have to get to the zero.
That's right.
The goal, right?
Right. And now, you know, we're not going to we don't currently have a product that can make up that significant improvement in carcass leanness and in gain and feed efficiency that ractopamine provided, but Zoetis does offer bacitracin methylene disalicylate, or BMD, a growth promotant that can be fed in the finishing period and can help improve average daily gain and feed efficiency to some extent.
To kind of help make up that racto loss.
Right.
Very good. Okay, excellent. Well, thank you so much for all the information today, Daniel.
No, you're welcome, Sarah. Thank you.
Very good. This is Sarah Meixel with the Pig Site.